the phrase, if you build it, they will come, right? The true meaning behind this phrase is that if you put a lot of effort and belief in the success of a project into the project, it's more likely to succeed. And I'm all about believing in that because that's mindset, right? And mindset is so powerful. So yes, believe that your product will be a success. But I caution you to take that phrase literally, because when it comes to your business, if you put all of your work into building your product line, they will not come. You need to build your audience too. In today's video, I'm going to explain why building your audience first will result in more success for your product. Let's dive in. Hey there, I'm Heather Harris, founder of Copper Bottom Design Co. I've been helping small businesses create planners and manufacture them overseas for nearly 20 years. If you're looking to create your own planner or expand your current planner line, you've come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button if you'd like to learn all about planner design, growing your planner business, and manufacturing overseas. I have so much to share. Now, were you thinking that your product needs to come first? Well, you're not alone. About 80% of my clients think that way before we start working together. And once I hear that a new client doesn't have an audience yet, I tell them exactly what I'm going to tell you. The simple act of building a website and adding products to an online shop will not automatically get people into your virtual door. How will they know to go to your website? You can post images on Instagram, but most likely you don't have many followers because you're just starting out. So those posts won't really result in a flood of sales on launch day. Sure, you can buy ads, but do you have the money to spend on ads? I mean, probably not, because we're just starting out. And I would prefer that you take that money and invest it in creating your products. Now, if you're wondering how much money it's going to cost you to create those products, check out my video from last week all about production costs. When I say people aren't going to automatically come through your virtual door, so to speak, and purchase things from your online shop, it has nothing to do with you and nothing to do with the quality of your products. It's really just because they don't know they're available. You can't build a restaurant in the middle of the woods at the dead end of some abandoned road and expect people to be lining up every day to buy lunch from you. Even if you pay to put a billboard on that abandoned road, no one's going to see it because nothing's been on that road for years. Nobody goes down it and they don't even know the billboard's there to be able to see it, to come to your restaurant. Do you see what I'm getting at here? People need to know how to find you. So if you don't have an existing audience that knows, likes, and trusts you and is ready to buy everything you have to offer, you need to start from scratch. Now, this is hard, and I am in no way a marketing expert, but I've worked with enough planner companies to know what makes a successful launch over one that might fail. And it's been the clients that have had an audience before we create their product that have the most successful launches. So let's look at some examples. One of my clients had a blog and she spent a few years blogging about faith and how to raise your children in faith and to love God, embrace that type of lifestyle in raising your family. She blogged daily, gave a lot of tips, gave information on sales for faith-based books on Amazon every day, and built up this following of people that were eager for the information she had to share, and ended up with an email list of about 500 people. So these 500 people were looking forward to getting the information, the educational tips she had about raising your children in faith. So when she came to create her faith-based planner, she actually sold out at her pre-launch before the planners were even in her hands, because she had that list of 500 people that she knew wanted to buy from her. She had the audience before the product, knew she had people that were going to buy, so that investment she spent on creating those planners, she was able to pay the manufacturer the balance with money from pre-sales before the planners were even in the hands of her customers. It was amazing and brilliant and so heartwarming to see. Now, my next client was a life coach and a planner lover and very involved in the planner community on Instagram. She would be in everybody's DMs, comment on people's posts, talk about planning, and your life goals, and give little tips to people in her community through her posts on Instagram about how to achieve your goals at the end of the year by small little steps daily that she would put in her planner. Now, she was able to grow her following on Instagram to about 10,000 people before she launched her business. She had a group of people that liked her, socialized with her, loved her tips, knew she was experienced and smart, and welcomed her educational tips from being a life coach. So they were ready to buy from her. They were excited that she created a product. Likewise, she was able to sell out when she launched her planners because the audience was already there and primed to buy from her. Now, I'm not saying if you build the audience, you're gonna sell out. These were huge success stories. But as you can see, they had people waiting to buy from them before they even had a product. Each of these women were able to create a community of loyal followers because they were showing up. They were providing something to their audience. Education, ways to accomplish your goals, tips on raising your kids in faith. They were developing these relationships with people, creating that know, like, and trust factor to have a successful launch for their products. So how can you build an audience before you start selling your product? Content marketing. That's what this is called. The blog that client one had, that was content marketing. She was pumping out content, free content that people were eating up and enjoying. They were looking for more from her. When she had something to purchase, they were willing to buy it because they had been getting so much value from her for free. Content marketing is not a new concept. Everybody does it, and everybody does it because it's so successful. So find a way that you can put content into the world that your target customers are going to find valuable. My favorite ways to do content marketing would be to build an audience on a platform that is searchable, like the blog on your website, or you can do this through YouTube. You can do a podcast as well, but a podcast is not searchable. If you have a blog post or a YouTube video, it's content that lives on the internet. A podcast doesn't necessarily live on an internet. You need an app to download it and listen to it. So a YouTube video or a blog post is easily searchable in Google because it'll bring them right to your YouTube channel or your website where the blog lives. Now, I'm not saying a podcast is a bad idea. I think it's a great idea. You would transcribe the podcast and put it on your website in the form of a blog post. You can always embed the audio file that is the podcast that people can either choose to listen or read on your website. But the point is that they're on your website. Same thing with YouTube. You can transcribe your YouTube video, put the thumbnail as an image, have the blog post written so somebody can find your YouTube video on YouTube or on the blog that lives on your website. The whole point in content marketing is to get people to your website. This will create a knowability factor. They'll recognize the name of your website, of your business. They get to know you through the content that you're posting, and your brand becomes familiar with them before you have anything to sell them. You want to make it super easy for people to find you. Social media like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, those are all great too, but it's really hard to build an audience. Now, client two that I talked about earlier, she was able to build that audience on Instagram to 10,000 followers, which is difficult to do, but she was in it. It was a thing. She was doing it every single day. Now, this didn't necessarily drive people to her website, but you could do that by offering some sort of freebie download. Like she could have offered life coach planning tips or ways to track your goals in your planner. She could have had some freebie sort of content on a website that her Instagram posts would point people to download. And that would have created some sort of symmetry between her Instagram account and her brand on a website. Regardless of how you do it, if you're using Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those things, you really want those to be a secondary tool to your searchable content that lives on the site. The goal is to always be driving people to your website because that's where you're going to sell your products. Now, if you want to use a platform like Etsy to sell your products, then great, go for it. But Etsy has already built the audience. That's the beauty of selling on Etsy. But my point is, there's an audience that already goes to Etsy, and that's why selling on Etsy can be successful. You need to do the same for yourself, for your own shop. Build that website that people are going to hear about, know about, connect with you, and will want to go to when you announce somewhere on Instagram that you have a new product to sell. So now we know we need to pump out content, right? But what do you talk about if you don't have anything to sell yet? Well, What's your product about? What is the core content of your planner? What's the problem you're trying to solve with your planner? Are you trying to help people achieve goals? Are you trying to help somebody who has ADHD take all the things that are in their brain and put it on paper and make lists that will help them do their daily tasks? Are you creating a planner for a mom that's juggling the life of 4 different kids, their partner, the dog grooming appointments, all of those things? You're solving a problem. You're solving a problem of achieving your life goals, of parenting, the ADHD brain. Your planner should have a purpose. And if the purpose of the planner is to just be pretty and this beautiful thing on your desk, well, that's a great reason too. You can absolutely have something that solves a problem or is just pretty that people want to buy. Depending on the type of planner that you have, you're going to want to gear that content towards your target customer. So if the target customer is mom, then you're going to want to create content that is about mom's lifestyle, meal planning, carpools, back to school checklists, how to help your kids build study skills, get their homework complete, information that's going to help mom in her daily life so that when you come up with a planner for moms, she's like, oh, right, they gave me so many great tips. This planner is probably going to change my life for the better. So that kind of educational content is really useful. Take the ADHD kind of planner. You're going to want to do educational posts on how that person can take all those swirling thoughts and get them down into actionable bite-sized chunks. If you're doing the planner that's just beautiful to be a desk accessory or look amazing on your kitchen counter, then great. Maybe you have an inspirational kind of posts that have to do with home decor or fun pens that you can use in your planner. Things that are beautiful. It could be maybe more of a lifestyle brand and you talk about clothing. Anything that kind of in the peripheral world would make sense that would go with somebody who wants something that's stylish, high fashion, and beautiful. You want to talk to that client with these inspirational, beautiful posts. Or are you super funny? Harness that. You can have funny posts about like incidents of being a mom where you missed the bus and, everybody forgot their lunches and those horrible, rotten days that everybody has. Spin it, make it funny, entertain your target customer. They're going to love it. They're going to eat it up. It's a way to connect with them. So you can educate, you can inspire, or you can entertain. Pick something that's right for you, that fits with your personality and what you're good at, your one unique skill. The point is you want to share your expertise and get people to subscribe to your philosophy, your planning philosophy, your parenting philosophy. You're going to find like-minded people that are going to be attracted to your one unique planner that you're going to launch into the world. And once you have this big audience, then selling is going to be easy. You're going to put so much time and money and blood, sweat, and tears to creating a product. We want to make sure it's going to sell and that you're going to make money from this product. So take the time to build your audience first. And once you've got that audience, give me a call. I'll help you create your dream planner. Look for the link in my description that'll tell you all about my agency services. I can't wait to make your planner dreams come true. See you next time.